Hello! If you've been paying attention to the last ones, or you missed or skipped past them completely, I have just basically skipped the training, and we're back to, or not back to, but we're going to start the main campaign. Now, the way how these are set up, how I'm planning on setting them up, is going to show the briefing, go over the briefing a bit with the viewer, since I don't think the voices are going to go over, but, well, let's adjust the volume. The volume's already high enough? Okay, let's see how it shows up. I'll review this later, but now I'm pausing this here because I want to go over this a little bit. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I'll do it again if I have. That this is a sequel to Freespace 1, The Great War, and this takes place 32 years after the Great War. And because of how major the Great War was to the story, they will often reference the Great War in many parts of the story, for those of you paying attention. Now, about this NTF, basically, during the Great War, or before the Great War, the Terrans were fighting this alien race, kind of looked like a stereotypical aliens, kinda. Did I say kinda? Whatever. The point is that they've been fighting these other race of aliens, the Vesudans, which we'll see a lot more of later. But then there was a third alien race that showed up, the Lucifer, which we saw the fight against in the intro. That those ships with the red markings, they're distinctively shown apart with the red markings. Anyway, the point is that the NTF had hold on, I'm jumping ahead. The point is that the Shivans showed up and they destroyed the Vesudans and Terrans, and basically this forced the Terrans and Vesudans to form an alliance against each other. Fast forward ahead to this point in time, and the NTF, Neo-Terran Front, does not like the Terran-Vesudan alliance, and now they're fighting to remove it. You might also notice that the systems are connected by lines. These lines connect them by jump nodes. But the way how you travel across systems in this game is by jumping to other systems rather. You saw apparently the game decides to define two types of jumping. There's small jumping, which returns to some point in the system, and there's subspace jumping, which jumps through from system to system. When you exit the mission, usually it's through the first case that I mentioned, which I already forgot what it was. My short-term memory sucks. The NTF, in other words, is a bunch of rebels. basically all they've been mentioning is showing losses. So here's our mission. I think it took too long about this, but I'll go over this. I don't want to compete. I will compete with. I don't want to compete with the voice, so let's just go over this. So basically, we are blah blah blah. Wait, do we want to compete with the voice? Whatever. I'm sorry. So we're on standby until now. So basically, they're evacuating the planet. Also, for those of you who play the game and don't know this, if you note in the briefing, you see these icons over here. You can't click on the planet, but if you click on these, you get to see a ship that represents what the icons are supposed to be representing. Now, this is obviously useless in later or in actual concept, but you know, it's kind of a neat little extra. Continuing on. These are Herc fighters, which are made back in the Great War. I remember using this ship a lot when I played Freespace 1. And the game wants to show that the rebels are using outdated technology frequently. Once the briefing stages are over, we get to see primary objectives, and secondary objectives from tertiary or bonus objectives. Sorry, they're shown as bonus objectives, which are basically the prime focus of the mission. If for those of you that don't know, also the mission name is has something to do with what actually happens in the mission. This is usually a clue. Since this is the first mission, it's really easy, and I probably took too long with the briefing, which, sorry, I think that I want to include the briefings too, so I think that I'm going to have to split most of these into at least 2 parts. I'm going to cut this off here and come back later for the next part. Later.